Testing, we're testing this. We're testing a new setup without my camera right here. Different setup of the live stream in complete chaos. Because I am super stressed, like I'm all over the place. As I'm gonna be traveling very soon. Like yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I bought flight tickets to Madagascar for, I think in 2 days I'm gonna be going. It's gonna be a long travel. Let me post this live stream. Yeah, this live stream is gonna be short. It's like I'm all over the place. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know who I am. Look at this. Look at my room. Like it's a total mess. I'm considering what I should bring with me. Oh shit. What I should leave here. I'm eating. No, okay. Just to back up. Let's open the space properly. Okay. What song could fit? I don't know, man. This is just a song about the butterfly people. This is just a song about freedom. This is just a song about the butterfly people. This is just a song about freedom. Freedom, 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 freedom. The past is history and the future is a mystery, but the present is reality, and that's where we are. That's what we are. Freedom, 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 freedom. And every day I love my life a little bit more and a little bit more. Yes, a little bit more. And every day I love my life a little bit more. And a little bit more, yes, a little bit more. We are singing, we are dancing, we are skanking away, skanking away, skanking away. We are singing, we are dancing, we are skanking away, skanking away, and skanking away to freedom, 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 freedom. Freedom! We're free. We're free. That's a crucial realization. Hey, Hans, good to see you, brother. Stay grounded, my friend. Traveling can unground you even more. But you already booked, so good traveling. Thanks, brother. Yes, it was a reaction. I don't know if you saw my last live stream of this like mushroom experience that I had. It's kind of the background where I collapsed. And then I kind of realized there's like symptoms of burnout, right? Where I was feeling overwhelmed. And basically what came up in the week afterwards was like this deep desire to go somewhere, to just leave my apartment, leave my hometown, where I feel a little bit isolated, or I just isolated myself by choice, basically, and go out. And then I was like in this space of like, where am I gonna go? 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 It's like, I don't know. I have so many like ideas and opportunities. Am I gonna go to a temple in the UK? Am I gonna go to a workaway space in Portugal and go serve? Am I gonna go to Peru? I don't know. Just immediately go to my next ayahuasca journey. Am I gonna go to India? Am I gonna go to Africa, Ivory Coast, to the World Gathering, Rainbow Gathering? And it's like, I don't know. I don't know where I want to go. And so it was like this whole space of like, what's truly needed for me right now, right? Because I want to ground, basically. I want to slow down. I want to relax. I want to still continue to do my work a little bit, like in a very balanced pace. And also, be a bit stable, right? Be a bit stable and not too much like all over the place. It's just like here and there and everywhere. So I decided now, I booked flights to Madagascar. I don't know. I don't know how that happened. Like Madagascar was not on my list of things and places to travel for now, but I met a wonderful human being earlier this year, actually a couple of people there, and he is living in Madagascar. He's got land there. He's got like his little adventure place, or bigger adventure place even. And I was like, okay. I was like, somehow that's calling me. Like, I don't know why, but somehow I feel called to go there. And so I just like was sitting with it. I'm like, the flights are really expensive to Madagascar. Like, I probably spent $900 now on the flights, which is almost all my savings, like almost all the money I have, which is coming into a very interesting point, actually, of trusting life, which I want to go into in our live stream today. I'm going to cut my mapache tobacco a little bit further because I want to save time. I want to eat and cut the tobacco and clean my kitchen simultaneously, but I can't. So I decided to go to Madagascar, and to basically stay at my friend's place, which is going to provide me with a bit of stability, right? And also, just curious about the culture, about the experience, about the nature. And just like, break out of my routine here a little bit, right? And see what opportunities come up, what connections are going to arise. And it excites me. Like, it excites me a lot now. Which is so good, right? And now I'm kind of in this process of preparing everything. Now it makes more sense. Sounds like you follow your intuition. Yes, follow your intuition, right? Kind of like, feeling like, what are we called to do? Because it's like I felt in my system, in my body, I felt called to go somewhere. That was clear to me. I was like, I'm not going to stay here for long. Like, this is like, I have to go somewhere. And then I kind of followed my intuition with where I go, where I kind of booked the flights to. I was like, and I felt excited about so many different things, but then I kind of like, I don't know. I was just like going in and feeling it, and then now kind of trusting in my intuition in that decision. And that's a big one, It's like, it's a big unknown going to just travel to Madagascar. Like, I don't know what's up over there. And it's a long ass travel. Like, I'm gonna be gone for like 4 days or 3 days, just like pure traveling, buses to Paris, from Germany to Paris, and then from Paris to Ghana, and from Ghana or Kenya to, I don't know, to Madagascar, and then from Madagascar it's a 24-hour bus drive, and it's absolutely insane craziness. But kind of like what especially what traveling is showing me over and over again is that we can trust in life, that we could trust the universe. And hey, Kali, Envy, my foot is doing good. I still have this like thing right here, which is protecting me, but I'm doing better. I can walk. Maybe not run, but I can properly walk again. It's good. It's healing. Thank you for asking. So yeah, and a friend of mine is in Japan at the moment, and we had a call the other day, and he was also saying like he was hiking up that big mountain, like 2,000-3,000 meters high, and all kinds of crazy things happened. He was meeting grizzly bears, and I don't know, there were like roadblocks everywhere. And he came back from that hike so excited, and I was like, we can trust life, like. And I feel the same way. Like every time when I'm going traveling, and it's like, even when I lose some money here and there, it's like somehow life presents me with an opportunity of like exactly the right people that I meet, exactly the right opportunities, moments, gifts, like magically provided. Like I am magically provided for in my travels, and I kind of take that as a lesson. Like even in psychedelic trips, it's like I feel that sometimes, like being just like magically provided for, to trust in that, to trust in the intelligence of life. When we say like, okay, I hear calling, I take up the courage, I spend all my money, I don't know, I make the decision, I go there, and I say like, here I am, life, like this is it, this is me, right? um and I'm ready to receive. And then basically you receive always. You do always receive the exact right lesson, the exact right experience for you, from which you can grow and learn from. Where's your salad of fruits today? Lol, I'm eating mangoes. Oh, I had a good mango earlier this day. Right now I have, I'm actually eating, I have zucchini, steamed zucchini, and a bit of mushrooms. Just like very simple. I came to appreciate more simple food. And of course, I have a big ass salad. I do. So good. It's way too big. Like, because I decided to book the flight so spontaneously. Right after I went to the grocery store and basically was shopping for the whole week. I bought so much food, and now I just booked this flight, and I'll have to go like in 2 days. And I'm like, I'm not not able to eat all of this food. I'm trying, like I'm eating the whole day long, but I can't eat all of it. I don't know. I'll have to, I don't know, gift it to someone. Yeah, fruits. Oh, Madagascar. I'm looking forward to tropical fruits again from the area where it grows. You know, it's one of the things I'm truly missing. You see this like coconut necklace right here? It's because I am showcasing my love to coconuts. I don't know, does Madagascar have coconuts? I want to know now. Because coconuts are one of the favorite things in my life. I deeply love coconuts. It's such a significant thing for me that I have to ultimately live somewhere where there's coconuts. There's no question about it, because I just love them so much. You can eat them, you can drink them, you can, I don't know, it's crazy. Coconuts are crazy. I don't know if you see this. It's like I should probably stop this because I can't fully concentrate with like just because I'm cutting this mapacho tobacco that I prepared to take with me. Do you think that's small enough? It's like it's big pieces, but it's a lot of work to make them even smaller. Do you have another like method to cut them? I'm just trying by myself. Speaking of travel, ever went to Shambhala? What kind of Shambhala do you mean? I guess there's more than one, and it's like it's a big concept. But what kind of Shambhala do you mean? Because it's funnily enough, I actually go to a retreat center which is called Shambhala. It's called Shambhala Epic Adventures, Madagascar. I don't know if you mean that. It's like I'm gonna pop that into the chat right here. That's my friend. He's running that business, and I'm actually going to Shambhala. Funny, right? But other than that, it's like I don't know if I ever went to another Shambhala. I don't think so. Oh, you probably mean the festival. I think I know what you mean. No, I never went to Shambhala, the festival. Shambhala is a really interesting concept. It's a great tool. I want to look deeper into it. It's a fantastic, interesting concept. Some great talks about it. Hans is asking, how's your tinnitus going? Did you recover 100% from your 5-MeO malt combo? If so, how? Yeah, it was 5-MeO DMT and MDMA. The tinnitus is still strong. It's going strong, right? And my physical, I don't know how much my physical health issues are related to that experience still. That's still a mystery and a wild guess. But my tinnitus is quite strong. I am kind of actively trying to counteract it. I came to just like accept it. There's like it doesn't annoy me anymore. And it doesn't scare me anymore. But it's like it's louder at times, especially during psychedelic experiences. Right, which is interesting, just to observe that, like in psychedelic space and like during the come down after psychedelic experience, it hits so hard, like it's very intense. This frequency, it's very very loud. So it's still there, just like living with it, observing it, and still taking some steps to try to resolve it. There's like some therapies that I want to try soon. And also right now, just like with the medical medium cleanse to heal diet and cleanse that I did, he also mentioned in his book that basically this way of eating is also reducing tinnitus, but not in my experience, at least not so far. I haven't tried the diet for too long, maybe a month now, a bit more than a month. So yeah, not resolved. I'll keep you updated. Yeah. Did you have this tinnitus before 5-MeO MDMA combo? No, I didn't. But also, it did not come immediately with the experience, which is also interesting. I still kind of related to that experience because so after that experience, basically like a week afterwards, I got tonsillitis, right? Some infection. And with that came the tinnitus. But all of this kind of happened in the time frame like 1 week after my 5-MeO DMT MDMA experience, which kind of like spiraled me into this spiritual crisis. So yeah, tinnitus is a very interesting phenomenon, right? And there's many different like interpretations of it, views on it. One is like, okay, it's a stage, or it's like an opening towards these like different realms, like spiritual realms, that you hear the frequency of the universe. You hear the Om sound, and it's interesting. Like Nada yoga is something I'm looking into, which is basically the yoga of sound. and there's kind of like knowledge around hearing different kinds of frequencies and sounds in Buddhist teachings. Hey MDL, good to see you. Yeah, good that you're here. Thank you for tuning in. Doesn't tinnitus come from loud exposure? Yes, sometimes, but not always. Like sometimes it's also caused by other things. Right, then it's just like basically like, what was I gonna say? So one is the Buddhist kind of thing. Then it's just like another possibility is just like that's what a couple of Chinese medicine doctors said to me, is like that I'm through the spiritual crisis and being in this like intense state of fear for a couple of weeks or months, that basically my system is overheated, like it's too charged up, there was too much energy, right? And then it's like it's the one doc said it's like it's literally like the energy is leaving my body through my ears. It's like it's bubbling up and then it's like a hot pot of water. It's just that's what he said, which is a reasonable explanation, right? Especially also with the 5-MeO-DMT and the spiritual crisis. And then it can also be just caused by infection. It can have many different causes. It can be caused by loud sounds. So I don't know. Like, literally, I don't know. Did you try out Leo Gura's tinnitus cure on his blog? He posted recently. I saw the blog post, and that's probably what I'm going to try next for regarding the tinnitus. Right now, it's not a priority for me. And he's like, I think the one therapy he recommended really takes up a lot of time. Like you gotta have like a lot of time and do it basically consistently, like this little thing for weeks on end. And as I'm gonna be traveling, I don't have the consistency in my setting for that. And I think the other thing he recommended was really expensive. And now I spend all my money on flights. But I'm going to try them. We need more research on psychedelics. Yes, we do. Absolutely. I mean, it's kind of like everyone of us who's exploring these spaces, especially like the deeper realms, is almost like and also these like unresearched substances like 5-MeO-DMT or combinations. It's like we're kind of pioneers in consciousness, right? Like on the edge of all these explorations, and there's like some data and some research, but it's like it's not even close to good enough. Especially with like these like weird phenomenons, right? Like tinnitus. I remember I kind of like I was hearing someone like teaching a bit about psychedelic integration coaching, which is what I'm doing basically and offering. There's a link in the video description regarding a free integration guide and regarding if you want to book a call with me and talk about your psychedelic integration and the possibility of coaching. And she said something like, okay, what are you going to do if like a coaching client comes to you and says like he's experiencing tinnitus after 5-MeO-DMT experience? And I was like, huh. Even back then, like it was a couple of years before I had this like tinnitus experience, I was like, it's a very interesting case. You know, it's like I wouldn't know what to say. Well, fortunately, coaching is a bit different from consulting, but it's like even as like a psychedelic consultant, right? Like, well, how do you deal with that if a client is coming to you and says like, I've got this like experience, right? Very interesting. Can you tell us the type of music you listen to, certain bands? I'll come to that in a bit. Basically, it's very mixed. MDL says anxiety and stress can exacerbate tinnitus. Yes, Incorporating relaxation techniques such as yoga, deep breathing exercises, and using headphones with new music when going outside can help. Yeah, thank you for these recommendations, for sure. Maybe that's also a reason why the tinnitus is not reduced by now for me, because it's like, as I've been noticing, it's like I'm basically in a constant state of stress. That's a bit like over exaggerated. It's like I'm not stressed, but it's like I'm sick, my body is exhausted, like I feel pain in my body, and still I'm pushing. Basically, I'm working for the whole year. Not so much anxiety anymore. I don't really have anxiety, but like this stress is kind of stored up in my body, which is not making the tinnitus any better. And relaxation is the key to so many things. Like relaxation is the key to everything. It's the key to awakening and enlightenment. Just like fully relax, and you're in heaven, basically. So one of the core teachings of the psychedelics. Apparently, caffeine also increases tinnitus. Could be. I mean, caffeine kind of increases, at least in my experience, like the tension in the body is like it's so charged up. So I can imagine it increases tinnitus. I have stopped consuming caffeine now for the first time in a long time, since a month, 2 months now, and I feel good. Like I feel somehow like energetically different. I feel way more aligned, way more awake as well. Sometimes I'm tired, but then I don't grab caffeine or coffee or cacao, but just like I am with this tiredness, and then it's just like it passes. So yeah, I can highly recommend, if anybody is like using caffeine a lot, to try out to take a break, a little bit of a longer break, not just a day or two, but a month or 2 months or 3 months, a little bit of a break to caffeine. Caffeine is like caffeine is such a funny prime example of like how contradictory different research is. I love it so much. It's like there's so much research out there that says like caffeine, coffee, like don't touch coffee especially. Um, it's like don't touch coffee. It's bad for you. Like it's one of the worst things you can do to your body. Lots of research out there, and then there's also research out there that says like, yeah, a little bit of caffeine, a bit of coffee, that's good for you, like keeps your heart rate. It's like da-da-da. And there's like so much conflicting research on coffee out there. It's ridiculous. My my intuition is that it's like caffeine is not my. It's a fantastic drug. Like it's a fantastic drug and a useful drug, kind of like as well, to have this like this focus and intensity. But it's very intense for me. It's like and I feel like ultimately it kind of damages my system. That's what I feel. And with the more like subtle versions of like a little bit of mate tea, fresh herbal mate, herba mate, or cacao, raw cacao, ceremonial raw cacao. That's kind of like caffeine intake, which feels more light, more like subtle and more gentle and soft. Yeah. Would you do 5-MeO DMT again? And was there a reason to mix it with MDMA, or was it just coincidences? Yeah, maybe to your second question first. First, I can say don't do what I did. At least I can't recommend, and I don't know if it might be dangerous. The thing, like how and why I did it, is I had wanted to do a 5-MeO DMT experience for a while. for a point since before I did it. And I kind of tried it a couple of times. You can see some live reports here, live trip reports on my channel, and I couldn't like fully break through on it. I was smoking it not by myself, but with the sitter. But the sitter was not experienced, was not guiding me to smoke enough, and I basically didn't smoke enough by myself to fully break through. And I kind of had the desire to break through with the 5-MeO DMT, and didn't manage to. And then I had my first MDMA experience, and also I heard about the combination of MDMA and 5-MeO DMT. Like I think it was Rick Doblin even who kind of mentioned it at a psychedelic conference in a Q&A session. And so it was kind of in my mind of like a thing to do or a thing to be safe, which it is not, which is something I want to emphasize, at least not in the way that I did it, right? And through the MDMA experience, I was so overwhelmed by the euphoria, which is kind of like this side effect of the MDMA, and not being scared, not having any fear, that I didn't have any fear to go into the 5-MeO space. And from this like loving MDMA space, I was so inspired to and ready to go into the 5-MeO DMT breakthrough space. And so I did, right? I did. It was kind of like a conscious choice, but under the like fog or cloud or influence of the euphoria, completely irrational and over the top euphoria and lack of fear from the MDMA, which made the MDMA dangerous for me, basically, because I had so little fear to go to 5-MeO. Would I do 5-MeO again? Yes. I'm gonna do 5-MeO again. Not mix it with anything. Just it's enough as it is. Like it's good enough. I haven't done it for a year now. That 5-MeO MDMA experience has been a year ago now. So I haven't done it since then. Maybe like I took a tiny toke of it, just like a very, very low dose to just see. And it's just a usual uncomfortable experience. But I feel like soon, towards the end of the year, maybe a bit further out, I don't know, I'll do it again. Whenever the time feels right, I'll do it again. There's some comments. First, I'll go to Hans. Do you prefer 5-MeO malt or 5-MeO DMT? I haven't tried 5-MeO malt. I think I've had the possibility to have access to it a couple months ago, and I didn't take it up. And now I think those shops in the Netherlands, they don't sell it anymore. So I don't have it here. I think a friend of mine has some. I'll have to go visit him and try it out. But it's something like it was something that I'm like, it's on the list for such a long time. Like I was like, we'll do it. We'll try it out. And then like years go by. So I can't compare the two. What do you prefer if you have experienced both? But I love 5-MeO DMT. It's like it's very interesting. But I'm scared. Like I'm scared to try more. I want to try the snorting and plugging again to see, because now I have like proper salt version of it, and I want to see how the extended experience is like. And I think the other comments were regarding the caffeine, like all excess to harm. Yes, and I've been having this debate for a while, still can't decide whether to stay or quit it. Yes. I like your tray. It reminds me of Andalusian Wandkunst. This one? This one? I don't know. Yeah, thanks. So, oh, any more questions? Put them in the chat right now. What is the difference between 5-MeO, NN, and Cambo and ayahuasca? I'll come to that in a bit. Thanks for the honest answer. I've done high doses shrooms, but I'm scared of DMT. What kind of high doses of shrooms? It's very similar space. I found that at least many people. It's not similar, but it's like very high doses of psilocybin. And people say it's a similar space to ayahuasca. And then the smoked and then DMT, it's a bit different. If you have experience with high doses of psilocybin and you feel comfortable in that space, you can. I always like to give people some like low to medium doses of changa and kind of find your way into DMT space with that. It's a very beautiful substance. If you like the psilocybin, you don't have to go for the breakthrough immediately, right? It's difficult either way to smoke so much. I don't even know if I had a breakthrough with DMT, but ayahuasca is a very special one. It's a very different one, but absolutely beautiful. Like very very beautiful experiences. So if the DMT is calling you, go ahead. So what is the difference between 5-MeO DMT and NDMT, changa, and ayahuasca? Good question. So 5-MeO DMT is a completely different molecule. Like it's a different substance than NN-DMT. NN-DMT is also included in ayahuasca, and it's included in changa. So changa, ayahuasca, and NN-DMT, crystal NN-DMT, are the same substance basically. But ayahuasca, it works with the MAOI inhibitor, and some traditions depends on who's kind of brewing the brew is putting in some other plants, but usually it's an MAOI inhibitor, like the ayahuasca vine itself. The ayahuasca vine itself is an MAOI. There's no DMT included in that, but then usually people add in chacruna or Pengrum Hamala. Oh no, Hamala is an MAOI as well. Mimosa hostilis, right? To kind of have this synergy of the MAOI and the DMT, which is allowing the MAOI is allowing the DMT to work in the body. So that's basically what ayahuasca is. There's also something called pharmahuasca, which is basically you consuming the MAOI, so you're in Ru or ayahuasca vine, and then you kind of intake the crystal DMT, swallow it, and then it should work as well, just like basically orally. With the DMT itself and NDMT, it's like you can smoke it, just like you can smoke it kind of infused in herbs, and that's what is called changa. And there's many different changa methods to make changa, but basically it's the NN-DMT infused in herbs, different herbs, from rose to mullein to the ayahuasca vine itself, and it's this smokable mix. And there seems to be a difference in the experience with the herbs if you smoke the DMT in the form of changa and pure. People say the pure version of NN-DMT is more like it's more out there. It's out there in the form of changa, and also in the form of ayahuasca. It seems to be more grounded, a bit more like connected to the body, the earth. It's a bit slower and not so much like this like pure craziness what you hear people talking about with pure crystal and NDMT, which is just like alien entities and visions, and it's overwhelming, it's too much. So that's kind of the differences between those three, and obviously the length of the experience is a bit different as well. Ayahuasca is like a longer experience. Changa usually a bit longer than the crystal and NDMT, like the crystal and the changa itself. Like the experience can range from like just 2 minutes maybe to 15-20 minutes, and ayahuasca it's like 4 to 6 hours or even longer. Ayahuasca, you have the vomiting usually, like it's part of a lot of people's ayahuasca experiences. Can happen with changa and DMT as well, but not so often. And then 5-MeO DMT is a completely different substance. It's like it's a completely different category of a substance. Still kind of like a serotonergic psychedelic, as far as I am concerned right now, as far as I know. But the nature of the experience is very different. It's, for me personally, it's very like, in the sense that DMT is very full of content, and NDMT, 5-MeO DMT, is very empty of content. It kind of strips down everything to nothing, which is beautiful. Like, it's very profound. Yeah, so that's kind of like, as far as your question is concerned. I hope that answers your question. I guess there's a lot more to say about it. Thank you all for these beautiful questions. You mean the plants? Yeah. Do you feel like Ludnord, good to see you here, is asking, do you feel like this physical plane world is truly fixable? Do you mean fixable in the sense of like it's broken right now and we have to fix it and we're trying to fix it? If you mean that, in my view on reality, nothing is broken. And I know that's a radical statement to say, like, ultimately everything is perfect as it is. There's nothing to fix. And at the same time, we are consciously co-creating towards a humanly perceived better future, so to say. So kind of like holding the relative and the absolute perspective at the same time. On the absolute perspective, which I resonate with and which aligns, is like nothing can be fixed, because everything, like the whole of reality, is whole. It's perfect. It's one. It's good as it is. And at the same time, on the relative level, with my human biases and preferences, we are moving towards a physical plane or world which we might choose to perceive as being better as it is right now. And to your question on the relative level, like I don't know if it can be fixed. It's like that's the whole fun about it, right? It's like that's the whole game. Like this is like the whole adventure of the human enterprise. It's like, are we gonna survive it? Is it gonna be good? Like if I see some of the next generation, I'm like, ooh, I don't know. I see this like as Terence McKenna says, like it's getting weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder. There's like a big gap of like a development of our society and culture, which is, from my point of view, just like falling deeper and deeper into deception and unconscious behavior, and it's just like it's insanity. At least from my point of view, I don't know. And then there's this gap, this like huge amount of people who are kind of becoming more aware and conscious of the environment, of the planet, of our way of doing things, kind of consciously trying to co-create spaces where we can get in touch with our humanness, with each other, with nature itself, and that's growing as well. And kind of like both is the gap is kind of getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm just here to do my best with whatever I can do, whatever is in my control to, and what I'm passionate about, what I love, where I love to serve. Like, that's what I focus on. Just like what do I love to serve in? How do I love to serve the world? And then everything else that's outside of my control is. I don't complain about it. Like, I don't focus on it too much. Hope that answers your question. One hit wound. I've done 10 grams of cubensis plus 4 grams wavy caps in one night. Wavy caps have doubled the amount of psilocybin. There's like 18 grams of cubensis, all dry. Yeah. And you go on. I had a breakthrough. I call the realm I was in the Crystal Palace. Have you read the book Tryptamine Palace by James Oddock? It's a really good book. I've been there 4 or 5 times, one time with LSD, but that was not good for my body. I found out that when I tried to go to the Crystal Palace by taking a high dose, but not being ready emotionally, I just end up harming my body. Yeah, I've experienced something similar. You know, it's like it's a crazy extreme sport almost to take high doses of psychedelics. You got to prepare your mind, you got to prepare your like emotional system, spiritually kind of align, like be really ready, and even bodily, like prepare your body, your temple, your vessel for these like immense energies. So if you're experiencing this, like, and you're going through this and you're going in again and again, like, you'll be good with DMT. Like, I can't promise. There's always a surprise. You can always like have a very intense, rough experience. And if DMT gets rough, it's very uncomfortable. But usually, I found it's very benevolent. So, like, you can make your way into DMT land if you're speaking of Crystal Palace experiences of 18 grams of mushrooms. That's crazy. I'm wondering, what have you experienced? I'm curious to go higher with mushrooms as well. Also a bit scared because it's so powerful. MDL says, oh, first, wait, you guys are writing so many comments. Thank you so much. Where am I with this comment section? So it's gonna be my first psychedelic, Kali and Beam. I don't know if I should do shroom truffles or go to ayahuasca ceremony. Up to you. What you feel is most resonant for you. For your first experience, maybe have a sitter there, right? Even for the shrooms or the truffles, but I'm just reading One Hit One. Thanks, brother. It was the most beautiful thing I ever experienced. I can relate. Yes, it's like if you get there, it's like it's such a blessing that you're like nothing's better. Like it's such a such a blessing. So yeah, the shrooms and the truffles you can dose better, right? You can say like if you feel like comfortable, just to start slow in your first psychedelic explorations. Start very slow and then work your way up. For that, like shrooms are more predictable, better, kind of for that slowly tapping into the space and then dosing. And in the other couple of weeks, dosing a little bit more and more and more. With ayahuasca, it's like it can blow your socks off, but it can be very positive and beautiful and healing, but it can also be very challenging and rough and maybe even traumatizing. Feel into your resonance. That's like hear, like listen, sit and listen, maybe inquire into both, contemplate, feel into the space of what's calling you more and why, because both are very, very beautiful teachers. And then if you have this like internal resonance, then I know you're going to make the right decision. MBL, if you ever want to visit Mexico for ayahuasca experience, I can be your travel guide. Beautiful. I would love to return to Mexico. I've been there 2021 and 2022. Where about in Mexico are you? I'm probably gonna head there, or not soon, but in the next couple of years, I'll be around in Mexico. I love Mexico. I really enjoyed the country, and I'll be around Oaxaca. Probably also a bit of Mexico City, but I have some friends in Mazunte, and I'm gonna spend some time there. But yeah, a lot of like ayahuasca ceremonies around in Mexico. Darth Vegan, good to see you. How can we deal with Amok collapse? 40C constant in summer, minus 40 in winter. It's going to happen within the next decades. I don't know. I don't know how we're going to deal with that. It's an interesting phenomena, which I don't know much about. I guess on the one hand, it's just to be just personally as environmentally aware and conscious about how you affect our Mother Earth as possible. And on the other hand, it's for myself, it's having kind of like a trust in the earth itself. And send out some prayers, do the best I can to see how, if the ecosystems and the environments change, gonna be a very interesting experience. That's how I see it. Kind of stay in the curious, interested observer. No fear, no too much like anger, but more like curiosity, and then just doing the best I can. Basically, we can't stop it anymore. It's good to do with salt water dilution. I can recommend the book The Blue Machine. I'm gonna write that down. Interesting. Might be if there's no point of return. I don't know. And if so, we'll see. It also, what can be happening, I listened to a podcast recently from Christopher Beich in his book LSD in the Mind of the Universe. He also said speaks about like his visions about the future human and kind of like ecological awareness, and what he saw in his visions on very high doses of LSD was basically that we'll get into a situation of crisis, like maybe even like most of the population is going to die, or it's going to be a very intense moment of crisis for humanity at large, because of like environmental factors and how far we've pushed it. And it's going to be like either we work together or we're going to go extinct. And through these like intense moments of crises, there was kind of like in his visions an acceleration of change, and a heart-centered, more like heart-centered, aware, basically like a revolution and evolution in consciousness of humanity itself towards a more co-creative, interconnected, heart-based space, which then kind of led to the resolution of the crisis. But first there was kind of like this intense crisis, this like almost moment of breakdown of the earth and humanity itself. Maybe we're gonna move into that and see, like, to have this like very interesting decision point of like, okay, are we gonna go instinct? Are we gonna travel into space? Are we gonna like what are we gonna do? Or are we gonna actually love each other and love our earth to make this happen together? But thanks for the book recommendation. I wrote it down. MDL, I'll be performing in Oaxaca on November 15th. I go there every November since 2021 with my live techno material. Fun, great. Maybe I'll be around, not this year, but as I'll be traveling to Madagascar now. In 2 days, and I'm gonna stay there for a month or two. But yeah, Oaxaca, beautiful place. Maybe I'll come around. If we're connected, like shoot me a mail, or I don't know, just like pop into the live streams that are gonna continue to happen, and maybe we'll go drink together. So I'll catch up with some comments because I just I'm trying to read this. Lutnur, I feel like I have moved into an end of time scenario, and there's nothing fun about billions of agriculture animals or endless mega cities full of half-dead souls doing questionable work. Yeah, it's an end of time scenario. That's what it feels like, right? But also it's a beginning of time scenario. It's like it's a beginning of something new, maybe. It's like of a different way of being. That's what at least that's the bubbles in which I hang around and pop around. Is like, for example, the Shambhala Adventure Center in Madagascar. It's like, or meditation retreats or ayahuasca communities. It's like there's movement happening and kind of a vision for something new, something wonderful to emerge as well. And it's not fun to put the focus on, like, yes, the billions of agriculture animals being killed or endless mega cities. It's to have the focus there is a bit more dark, for sure. And it's a harsh reality, which I guess it's useful to acknowledge and appreciate as well. So, what else? Truffles are a good start, soft and nice. Yes, I would say as well. Ayahuasca can be like it can be a very, very rough teacher. Shrooms can be as well, no question about it, but only, in my experience, in the higher dosages. So for your first experience, I would recommend also start slowly work your way up with the shrooms, get a feel for it, and then if the ayahuasca is calling, you can still go to ayahuasca experiences. As One Hit One said, start with 1 or 2 grams just to get feeling. Yes, and do it with a good friend who you can trust, and also who understands a little bit of the space of, like, maybe if you've watched this channel, maybe you know, it's like maybe have some like intentions, experiences where you're like, okay, basically I want to journey inside. Maybe I have my eye mask and I just go and experience this. So it's like, let your friend know that maybe don't disturb too much. Maybe don't like bother me or joke around. Or if you want to bother and joke around and just talk and just feel into that experience, do that, right? But being clear on that and communicating that to your friend or to your sitter who's there is a nice way of going about it. Paul Beckwith is a very good climate scientist. He's on YouTube. He explains the amok a lot. Interesting. I wanted to do it alone. I don't know how dangerous it is. Yeah, if you do it alone, it's like start slow. There's always risks and dangers. If there's any possibility, maybe have somebody like that you have on call, or just like basically have the possibility to call, and who could come to calm you down, or just so somebody knows. And if that's not possible, yeah, just like really check in with yourself. Of like, am I ready to take the responsibility for the consequences of my actions? That's kind of, and then start very slow, and you should be fine. But there's always potential and risk involved, right? In going into these experiences, because you don't know how you're going to react. Maybe you're going to get into thought loop and panic or fear. Just like then it's like, okay, then you got to deal with that. Lutnud, are you looking for a female partner to build a life and practice together? Describe her. It's a very direct question. I don't know if I'm looking for a female partner to build a life and practice together. I can imagine having a female partner and building a life and practice together. Yes, I can imagine having that kind of connection in my life. Describing her, there's kind of like a certain, it feels like a standard, or kind of like a, not a clear image in my mind, but it's like a, yeah, a feeling, a kind of like a feeling for who she might be and what's important to her, right? It's kind of like a match of values, for example, valuing spirituality, valuing spiritual practice. A little bit also, what I've noticed is like kind of having not the same view on reality, as that's unrealistic, but it's kind of like an understanding for the view, for like a holistic view on reality itself. Openness about psychedelics, obviously. I think that's a big one for me. Yeah, and otherwise, like there's like a couple crucial things, right, that I feel like have to be in place for me to engage in a relationship. But there's also a lot of like flexibility, right? There's like some like core things that I say like those are essential for me, and then the rest is like it's a feeling space of like, hey, I'm also, I don't know, I'm not particularly looking for one, but it's like I'm open. I open myself up to the possibility of that arising, and then if I go out, I just feel, and most of the time it's like nothing happens, and then sometimes somebody just appears in my life, and then maybe somebody leaves again as well. Right. But I can imagine, yeah, it's an interesting question, right, with kids as well, like imagining future with kids or without, like that's a question. And building a life together is like, it's also an interesting question of like, I don't know where life is going to take me, and like if it's going to take me into the jungle and just to apprentice for like 20 years straight with somebody, or I don't know, like, you know, maybe a relationship is not appropriate for that period of time, or maybe it is, right? Maybe it is, and you can do that together with someone. So yeah, good question. I'll come to you, Kali, and be about the music. Sorry, I forgot the question. I'll come to Isaac first. Finally, you made the live stream. I think it was you who said you wanted to make the live stream, right? welcome. What are your thoughts on sexual desire and lust? Not sure if those topics are covered on your channel. I talk very rarely about it. I think I have one video on NoFap, which is like it's old. It's like it's 2 years old maybe. I don't know if you can find it if you search psychedelic actualization NoFap. But sexual desire and lust, if you have any, do you have any more specific like inquiry or question about it? I guess on general thoughts, I guess lust and sexual desire is a very natural human phenomenon. And yeah, that's it, right? And then it's I guess it's about our way of how we approach that topic. If it feels aligned and healthy for us on how we approach it or not, right? With the whole like no fab, no semen retention or whatever, it's like there's a whole movement also in many traditions and religions of cutting sexual desire out of your life, saying like almost like suppressing it. I don't know if that's a healthy like way of going about it. And then there's like the hedonistic kind of approach, just like expressing it freely and just following that like vibe that you're feeling and that desire, that like instinct, almost that impulse, living it out freely, like polygamy, polyamorous relationships, hippie vibe, or just doing that and expressing it freely. I don't know if that's a healthy approach. And there might be a balanced way to go about it. To engage consciously in the act of masturbation, in the act of sexual intercourse, be aware of like the energy exchange that is happening in between two humans when you choose to engage with somebody because of sexual desire or because of lust. Yeah, with the masturbation, there it feels like there's a lot of shame around it. Um, and like many, especially I can only speak for men. I don't know how much I know a little bit about the woman side of things, but usually I can say for men that many men feel shame around masturbation. Then there's the use of pornography, right, which is a topic in and of itself. Yeah, but just like I guess it's about like this feeling of alignment. Like, what do you feel is aligned? Like, if you feel ashamed after you masturbate, like, why is that? Like, is it just the masturbation, or can you like remove the shame and enjoy actually your engagement with sexual pleasure, releasing that? And then there's like these whole systems, right, which are very interesting, like the branch of tantra, which is about sexual intercourse, sexual desire, this like life force energy, which is just a very small portion of tantra, right? But it's there. Um, there is in Taoism, there's like all these like systems of like semen retention, ejaculating, and then accumulating that energy in like conscious intercourse, or using that energy to have like all these different layers of orgasm. It's a big field. It's a big topic, and it seems to be so. I mean, it doesn't seem to be. It is very like it's a centerpiece of our humanity. It's the way we pass on our life, right? It's through intercourse, and then new life is being born through that So yeah, interesting question. Interesting. I don't know if if you have any more specific questions, I'm open. But these are just like general thoughts that come up regarding this topic. Darth Vegan, thank you for your compassionate presence. Peace to you all. Peace to you, man, and blessings. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. I do really appreciate it. You guys have calmed me down. I feel calm right now. Right, I don't know if you can, if you look towards the beginning of this live stream, I was not calm. Like I was more stressed and hectic, and it's like I gotta pack all that stuff and I gotta eat all that food because I'm leaving to Madagascar. And I gotta plan my travel, and it's like I don't even know if I need a visa. And it's like because I don't have one. But I'm just gonna go there anyways, and I wanna prepare entertainment, and I don't know, maybe I'll have to properly prepare to pack my psychedelics to don't make them too obvious for airport. Oh, I didn't say that, right? What else am I going to do? I want to learn the Malagasy language from Madagascar. I want to. Oh, I think I want to edit a video. I gotta. Oh no, I don't want to even think about it. I gotta prepare to take my work with me, basically. Get a new disc. What else? Oh, I gotta do so much. Oh my god. Okay, I have 1 day left. Calm down. Luno, German travelers do not need a visa if staying for 15 days or less, but must pay administrative fee on arrival. Yeah, I'm gonna stay like for more than 15 days. I think 1.5, 2 months, probably. Have a safe and fun trip. Definitely vlog for us. Yes. I'm not too much into vlogging. You see that big camera over there? Like that's my camera. It's big. Like it's. I'm gonna take. I'll try to take it with me. But then I'll have to see if I take my camping gear with me as well. It's like it's a big thing to travel with. And I don't have a vlogging cam. I did. You guys know if actually did vlogging like quite a lot. There was a YouTube channel before this one, and I was vlogging a lot with my friend. We were like a vlogging channel almost. But I kind of don't enjoy vlogging too much. Because usually when I'm traveling, I'm like in the experience. And I want to stay in the experience. I don't want to capture it. I don't even capture anything with my phone. I don't take pictures of places I go to, usually. So, yeah, it's like, I don't know. I'll take the camera with me, and I'll do the live streams, and I'll shoot videos on Madagascar. There's also a friend of mine who's like into the neuropharmacology of psilocybin research and a lot of interesting stuff. We're going to have a lot of interesting collaborations. You're going to love her. And we're going to have a lot of fun and videos. And vlogs, yeah, I don't know. I'm not too much into the travel vlogs. One hit wound. Bye. It was fun with you guys. Have a good flight. Thank you, and bye, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Kalienby, how do you take them through the airport? Lol. And wait, what do you do for work, Virgo? So for work, I do this. This is my work right now. I did a coach training certification, and I'm practicing coaching at the moment. I love to specialize in like psychedelic integration coaching, but I'm applying coaching to a general field, and I'm kind of like in the process of getting my business going. As I said, if you're curious, you can book a one-on-one call with me. We can have a chat about the coaching. And I'm kind of developing programs for like the psychonauts path to purpose, for psychonauts to kind of align their life with who they truly are, right? And I love it. I love it so much. So that's kind of like the biggest part of my work is this, and also like shooting these videos weekly, and what else? Yeah, researching a lot. It's a lot is happening in the background. So that's what I do for work. And how am I going to take the psychedelics through the airport? That's my little secret. No, yeah, like usually there's risk involved. No, I can't share the secrets. I don't know. I will say with certain things, it just looks like herbs. It just looks like tea, right? And so you can label it as tea. You can label it as incense. Take it like this. Other things is more liquidy, right? And you can label it as liquid, toiletries, or just like hygiene things, right? So it's the packaging of the thing itself that's kind of doing the trick. And then with like, usually I don't travel with too much like synthetic stuff, which just looks like a drug, you know. That's usually not what I do. And otherwise, it's like I can recommend just don't travel with it. I just like to have my own substances. But in the place that you're going to be traveling to, usually you can find people who have access to psychedelics as well. The lives are awesome. Keep it up. Yes. Oh, your music question. I didn't forget. Oh, yes, I forgot again. I'll just look at my Spotify and see what happens here. I like this, like sometimes in the mornings, this like more acoustic, chill music. Something like Jack Johnson, Sam Garrett, Paul Isaac, more like this like fun Trevor Hall, Rob Ricardo is a nice one, Xavier Rat, Meten, I love Meten, Bruce Coburn, I love Bruce Coburn. That's kind of like more my acoustic kind of playlist, an acoustic chill kind of playlist with these like sometimes inspiring or fun or conscious lyrics. I do love mantras. I listen to mantras almost all day long. I don't know if there's specific artists. I mean, Miten and Deva, Praful is nice, David Luray. More traditional ones is like Vasudeva, Radha Kumari. I like Krishna Das, Akira Tamura. She was recently here in Bremen. Now she's on Bali. Manesh Temor. Medicine music, I listen to a lot of Icaros. I listen to, like Music in the Trips. Oh, sorry. Music in the Trips. A lot of instrumental music. Sometimes also kind of like medicine music, like shamanic medicine music, Icaros as well. And then it ranges. It depends. Sometimes I do playlists from like John Hopkins University. Thank you, Darth Vagan. Good travels. Best of luck, Steve. Well, blessings to you. Blessings. What else do I like? Sometimes classical music is a lot in these like psilocybin therapy playlists. Recently, I listened to Bach. Beethoven, I don't know. Also mantras I like, and Icaros, shamanic stuff for journeys. Something like Shakti is very interesting. Um, Chanting, Georgian chants, or like Dij, Gangagiri, for example, or yeah, more like these, like, I don't know, traditional tribal music as well. It's very difficult. I'll publish something soon. It's like I'll probably open up a community soon, and I'll put in a lot of resources in the community, and I have a whole resource kind of gathered together with all kinds of music that you can use for tripping, um, and kind of like a guide for using music in tripping. But yeah, usually I like to kind of create my own playlists of like having a mixture of instrumental music and medicine music and Icaros, which kind of like blends together fairly well and which resonates with me. And then sometimes I try out random playlists from other people. Some are not really good, but some are. Mantras, always good. Something like Yaima or Ajit, Praful Manesh Temor is something I like to splash in. Or Ayla Schiffer. Um, Yeah, difficult to answer the music question, man. Sorry, there was just like a couple random like names. I don't even know if you could capture them. But yeah, Ludnur is saying, what if all Ikaros Hindu references are just the ego clinging to a comfort zone identity that is scared by trust fund, first world economy kids, and those who benefit from rich passport kids? You don't do Pink Floyd? I haven't done Pink Floyd too much. Lutnud, good question. It might be. I feel there's a certain resonance in sound, right? Also, when I don't have music, silence is a good one as well, right? Silence. I like to trip to silence. Um, and basically, right, with the Hindu references, the mantras or the Ikaros, sometimes you're hearing them and there's like it feels profound, it feels deep. Well, everything feels profound on psychedelics. But using your own voice is a very powerful one, right? I mean, it doesn't come from anywhere. It's like sound with vibration is literally like creating reality. Um, so hearing and singing your own Ikaros, chanting the mantras yourself, it feels very powerful and significant in also like guiding, right, your consciousness to the divine. Depends on your intention as well, right? And sometimes just like letting go of everything is also good. Leaving the comfort zone of music, yeah, it's a very interesting point. Saying like music is very comforting, I might leave the comfort zone of music and say, I'm gonna just fully surrender to the silence. Okay, guys, this was a very good live stream. I love you all. I really gotta like pack my stuff now and organize some things. But I wanted to hop on here either way. I actually wanted to just hop on for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And you guys were so awesome and so amazing, engaging so much. I love that so much. That I just had to stay on. Yeah, I enjoyed it. And probably the next time you're going to see me, I hope I'm going to be chilling at the beach in Madagascar. If I probably I'll have settled in by then, by next Sunday, and I'll see you then. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. As I said, download the free Psychedelic Integration Guide. Link is in the video description. Or if you want to talk to me one-on-one about the coaching engagement, you can click the link in the video description as well. Thanks. Please always do these streams. I will. Thanks for showing up and tuning in again and again, Kali and Bing. I do truly appreciate it. Take care of the e-visa. What is the e-visa? I don't even know what it is. Sorry. Can I apply for it spontaneously? Literally, my flight is tomorrow. I can't apply for visa now. I have to trust life on that one. Okay, love you all. See you soon. Bye.